Good evening, everyone. We are thrilled to have you join us today. My name is Mary Milano. I am the Director for Family Engagement with Orange County Public Schools. And tonight we are going to be talking about some amazing private colleges and universities that we have within our state, including the University of Miami, Florida Southern College, Florida Tech, St. Leo University, Rollins College, Lynn University, Flagler College, Advent Health University, and of As I was saying, we have some amazing colleges and universities that are joining us today, and we are looking very much forward to having everybody learn from them this evening. So Victoria is on. Thank you so much, Victoria, for jumping in. If you could just tell us a little bit about the closed captioning and all of that information, then we will turn it back over to the panelists.
Sure. For our families who are interested in closed captioning, we would like you to go ahead and if you look at the bottom left of your phone or the screen, you will see a CC. When you click on the CC, it will give you an option to choose your language. You can go ahead and choose that language. I will also take a minute as we turn it over to the panelists to go ahead and drop that information into the chat for sure. So right now we're going to go ahead and start with Charles Kemick from the University of Miami. Charles, I'm going to go ahead and make you the presenter, and we'll be able to go ahead and see everything that the University of Miami has to offer us. So take it away, Charles. Hi, Charles, I'm so sorry to interrupt. You don't look like you're muted, but I have some participants that are saying I can't hear you. And I was wondering if we could check just to see. It doesn't say you're muted.
Is that better?
Yes, that's much better.
All right, there we go.
Don't want to miss any of this information. So thank you so much.
Yes, of course. My apologies. Okay, so working with multiple screens, it can switch between mics, so I apologize. Again, my name is Charles Kemick. I am the Director of Recruitment at the University of Miami by way of Chicago. So I'm based here in the Chicago area and have the opportunity to work on within our admissions team. So I want to give you three quick takeaways about UM. Diversity, we would say, in three ways. So you're going to see this in terms of the makeup, the kind of traditional makeup of where our students are coming from. You're going to see this in the curriculum offerings. And then lastly, you're going to see this in the opportunities in terms of experiential learning. Okay, and so it'll be the quick 3 to 4 minute takeaway that you'll get You'll see this breakdown on this screen here of kind of where our students are coming from. And the proud fact, I would say, is 75% of our classes are 29 or fewer. So it's not just that you're seeing this 10,000 number or this 13 to 1, but it means that you're going to be able to really connect with your not only your classmates, but ultimately your professors, which will hopefully help you have opportunities beyond the U, right? We have these opportunities within the 9 undergraduate schools and colleges at UM. We have 2 graduate schools, the School of Law and our Miller School of Medicine. And so depending upon where you are across the academic spectrum, there are a litany of opportunities for you to engage in this way. But the most unique thing, and really the one takeaway I want you to sort of glean from in all of what I say today and about the University of Miami, is something called our Cognates Program of General Education. If I were to take a poll of both the students and the parents alike in our audience today, I would guess that you have at some point taken a class that you did not want to take, right? I'm guilty of it. I went through 5-6 years of undergrad and college and high school as well. So we're talking 12 plus years of schooling. There were a ton, I'll be honest with you, I'm just gonna confess. There were a ton of classes that I didn't necessarily want to take, but I had to based upon the curriculum that I was engaging with. And so at UM, we've crafted a system, our Cognates Program of General Education, which hopefully allows students to have complete autonomy, control over their educational experience while adding in this interdisciplinary approach. And so how it works, there's 3 areas of study: arts and humanities, people and society, and STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. Your major will cover one of these areas, right? And then you'll be required to take a group of 3 courses, which is a cognate in the 2 areas outside of your major. So the example we have here, Sebastian Yibis, who is our amazing mascot, is taking a major in aerospace engineering. So that covers the STEM cognate requirement. And then he's chosen to take 3 classes in sports communication and then 3 classes in philosophy. Notice all 3 of these are in different schools and colleges. So you are free to try a variety of different areas, and you can double up on majors, minors as you see fit, even if at face value, it doesn't seem like those things go together, right? So this creates an opportunity not only for you to take the classes that you want to, but to ultimately set you up to go the places that you want to go. And speaking of going places, so where are we located? We're located in Coral Gables. This is kind of a Mythbusters moment for some of you, many of you being from Florida, but some of you haven't been this far south. Will know that we're not located in downtown Miami. We're actually located in a suburbs just outside of the city. And so you have a variety of different things to choose from within that greater metro area, but a condensed private campus in the suburbs just outside of downtown Miami. And then lastly, I wanted to give you just a quick snapshot of our admitted student profile from this past year, just so you have an understanding. Many of my colleagues I know will touch on a variety of similarities in terms of our application process, but I just wanted you to have sort of a window into what the student profile for students has looked like for these past couple of years. So I want to hand the baton back to whoever is next, and look forward to connecting with you all a little bit later through the panel.
Fabulous. Thank you so much. I'm going to pass the ball over to Florida Southern College. Take it away.
Perfect. Thank you so much, and I'm excited to be here this evening. Hope everyone can hear me just fine with some of the information, and I'll be sharing about Florida Southern College and introduce myself and welcome future mocks. My name is Joe Madigan. I serve as the Director of Undergraduate Recruitment and Outreach at Florida Southern College. I get the opportunity to work with our outstanding undergraduate admissions team that travels the globe, gets to meet with students and families like yourself. Is just within a short period of time to give you a sense of space and place of who Florida Southern is, a little bit about what we're about, and then also kind of some encouragement so you have an understanding of, am I a good fit to be a mock that's there? And I start with our 4 pillars at Florida Southern College. And can you see yourself at Florida Southern begins with, we are focused on a sense of community and a focus on our students. Students come first at the undergraduate level. We love our traditions like our Water Dome Splash right before senior graduation, or we have our Winter Wonderland Carnival happening this week for students getting the opportunity to engage and blow off some steam before final exams. I use the words engage We believe in a model of learning by doing in the classroom. All classes taught by professors at Florida Southern, and this leads to outstanding outcomes post-graduation. Those are the pillars that we're founded upon and have been founded upon since our original founding in 1885, often hailed as one of the oldest private universities in the state, and home to just over 3,300 students from all over the world, about 60% of our students from Florida. Oh, by the way, our campus is recognized as a National Historic Landmark, and we're recognized as the #1 most beautiful campus in Florida and #6 overall in the nation. We're also recognized for affordability as we award every over $66 million in scholarships and grants, including accepting Bright Futures, the Florida Ease Grant, which is a private scholarship that you can apply here at Florida Southern and across our private schools here tonight that are talking. Well, where are we? We're in Lakeland. We're halfway between Orlando and Tampa, actually the #5 fastest growing metropolitan area and coming from the Orlando area. It could take you anywhere between 30 minutes, depending upon if you're on the west side. If you're on the east side of Orlando, it could take anywhere between an hour and a half to 2 days, depending on I-4 traffic. That's there, the weather that you're coming across. But know that Florida Southern College is a residential home and community. We guarantee housing for all 4 years for our students, and most of our students do live on campus here and take advantage of so much to do. Over 100 different clubs and organizations, from orchestras and ensembles to Greek life here. There's something for everyone, because no matter your background, no matter what you believe, no matter where you come from, you're welcome here, including championship winning athletics. We're NCAA Division II in our athletic programs with 24 programs, as well as we have a variety of club sports too. One of them pretty cool, ice hockey, cheerleading, equestrian, to name a few. Academically, we have something for everyone as well. Over 70 different programs to choose from across our 5 schools on campus. Our School of Business, very well known for our programs in entrepreneurship and finance. Our direct admit BSN nursing program, exercise science, sports medicine, and physical therapy, to the sciences and research, and our top ranked musical theater program and theater programs at Florida Southern. If you want to continue on, we have accelerated options. We have 4+1 master's and bachelor's degrees you can combine together, saving you time and money, or guaranteed seats for graduate school at places like LECOM for medicine, dentistry, pharmacy, and podiatry now. Or if you're looking at environmental studies, or maybe you're looking at engineering, those are options as well. I go back to engagement with 100% of our classes taught by professors, and a small class size that you're going to hear about through our schools is a common theme. But here at Florida Southern College, we start research that first semester, that first year, no matter your major that you're in here. And this includes getting the opportunity to travel the globe, often at no cost or reduced cost, participate in internship, and over 85% of our students graduate in 4 years' time or less, allowing you to come in with those AP, IB, dual enrollment, ACE class credits. Those are going to count here at Florida Southern. And I mentioned we're out focused on outcomes, going back to those pillars, now ranked #18 in the nation for career services, the only school in the state of Florida ranked for that with a 98% career success rate. Overall, we want to be accessible for all students, and that's why it's free to apply to Florida Southern College through the Common Application, the Coalition Application, now partner with SCORE, if you're a SCORE school, or our own online application. We also are holistic and looking everything for a student. You don't see averages here on GPAs or test scores because we're test optional, and we want to evaluate applications based on your interest in us here at Florida Southern. We also reward students academically based on what you've done already with merit scholarships. Of 99% of our students receiving merit scholarships, between 9,000 and 25,000 hours per year. These are stackable with things like Bright Futures, the Ease Grant, and other aid. Your admissions counselor here at Florida Southern, I reference, is your main point of contact. If you're coming from Orange County, that's Carissa Capoza. You can find her at this QR code or come and visit us on campus. I cannot stress that enough tonight. You're going to hear a lot of great information from these schools, but the best way to experience us is coming in person. It's free and easy to get on campus, whether that be for one of our open house programs. If you're a senior and you apply, and it's free to apply still to Florida Southern, haven't done so yet, come for our admitted student days in the spring. The link is on the bottom of the page, and I would love to personally welcome you to campus. I'm going to turn it over to our next presenter here tonight, Thanks for listening a little bit about Florida Southern College, and hope it gave you a sense of place and space of who we are here at Florida Southern.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. I've turned it over to Mr. Dahan, who is joining us from the Florida Institute of Technology. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I am an admission counselor for Florida Tech. I cover the North Florida territory. We're a small university. We have about 3,500 undergraduate students, about 2,000 graduate. We are direct admit university, so whichever major the student applies for, day one, semester one, they start in that major right away. So definitely a huge plus for our students graduating on time. Our average time of graduation is 4.1 years undergrad. So starting that early, making any adjustments to the major as needed earlier does help our students graduate on time as well. But some background about us: we were founded in 1958 by NASA physicist Jerome P. Cooper. And so originally we started for engineering, specifically at the master's and PhD levels and the graduate level. And then ever since then, we've expanded to all the undergraduate work we offer today. We have a top aviation program in the country. Our main campus is in Melbourne, so about halfway between Jacksonville and Miami, and only an hour away from Orlando as well. But our main campus in Melbourne is about 10 minutes away from Melbourne International Airport. So it's very convenient for our flight students. We do have a flight simulator and aeronautics building as well. And we offer aviation management, meteorology, air traffic control, so a lot to choose from there. But we're really known for our aerospace engineering and mechanical engineering. Those two are our most popular majors. We had about 27 alumni working on the Artemis rocket, so we're very well represented in the space industry as well. We're only about 40 minutes away from NASA. We have a lot of connections with them as well in terms of alumni, as I mentioned, and like internship opportunities for engineering students as well. We also have an excellent partnership with Larson Motorsports. So they build dragsters that go about 300 miles per hour, and their headquarters is about 10 minutes away from campus. So our students get to build those from scratch. And the cool part is a lot of the skills, equipment, and technology they use does translate over to the space industry as well. So they really get hands-on experience there. We also do have fast track masters, which I highly recommend, where you can finish your master's in 5 years total. And so that's a great opportunity for our students. We also have business minors as well to choose from. And then a lot of pre-med options. We did just partner with Burrell College of Osteopathic Medicine. So they are the first medical school here in the Melbourne area. And it's a great partnership basically through that agreement. Each class will be about 100 students for that medical school, and 50 of those seats will be reserved for FIT grads. So it's a great way to transition from undergrad pre-med to medical school. And we do have a lot of pre-med options at the undergraduate level, like pre-med physics, biomedical science, biomedical engineering, and a lot of really other interesting majors as well. Marine biology is also a very popular one, as well as astronomy, astrophysics, meteorology, as well. We also have really cool study abroad. They've been to Oxford, Galapagos Islands, Puerto Rico, Spain, depending on the major as well. So highly recommend that. And yeah, as I mentioned, small university, really diverse student population, about 1/3 in-state, 1/3 out of state, and 1/3 international as well. But yeah, so we do accept Bright Futures. We do accept the EASE grant as well. We do give out merit-based scholarships based on academic performance. And we do have a scholarship called Panther Distinguished. So if you do qualify for the upper tier Bright Futures, highly recommend you apply for that. If the student does get it, it's full tuition and full fees covered as well. So, but it is free to apply. Highly encourage it, and definitely highly encourage a visit to campus too. It's a great time. You get to eat in the Panther Dining Hall, tour Larson Motorsports, tour our aviation facilities, and check out our planes too. So highly recommend it. And thank you for the time.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm going to turn it over to St. Leo University. I'm making you a presenter now, so you should be able to share.
Well,
Perfect.
good evening,
Thank you.
everyone. Good evening, everyone. My name is Francie from Senior. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Francie from Senior University, and I'm an Assistant Director of Undergraduate Admissions. And I work the territories of Brevard, Orange, Osceola, Seminole, and Polk County. So if you guys are interested, I'll be your counselor throughout this entire process. Currently, I'm doing my master's in health psychology in St. Leo, and I did my bachelor's in psychology. And that's my information. So you guys want to reach out with any questions, you can always reach out. So just to give you a little information about St. Leo is a private liberal arts Catholic university founded in 1889. And just because we're Catholic, that does not mean you have to be Catholic to attend St. Leo. It just bases their core values on Catholicism. Our core values are community, excellence, integrity, responsible stewardship, personal development, and respect. So the good thing about St. Leo, our student faculty ratio is between 16:1. Our classrooms in the first 2 years are between 15 to 20, and our last 2 years are from 7 to 12. So you have that one-on-one with your professor. Our top degrees at St. Leo are biology, criminal justice, psychology, computer science, and management. So our campus is really small. We have over 2,300 students, and out of those 2,000, we have 975 international. So you can see that we have diversity at St. Leo's being such a small school. These are all the programs that St. Leo offers at the moment. Now, this is the most important part with St. Leo. St. Leo believes in experimental learning. In each degree that you see at St. Leo, we offer experimental learning. For example, our top degree at St. Leo currently is criminal justice. We're the #1 school in the state of Florida, the 5th in the nation, and we have a crime scene house. Students can do DNA testing, blood splatter analysis, and just gathering evidence and determining the motive of the crime scene. We also have a biology 3D interactive table that you guys can learn the human body. And we also have a virtual avatar experience that is used for teaching and different classes that relate to public relations and speaking in public. Now we have accelerated programs at St. Leo. Our first accelerated program are either management or marketing, and you could do it in 3 years and then a master's in 1 year. So you'll get 2 degrees for one. Same thing with computer science. We have a bachelor's in computer science with a master's in cybersecurity. And we have partnerships with Barry University and with Florida State in Tallahassee. For our law program, you can do a bachelor's either in criminal justice, political science, and English professional writing with a minor in legal studies. Once you finish your 3rd year, you'll be transferred on to the other university of your choosing. So St. Leo offers scholarships to all the admitted students. So we have scholarships that range between 12,000 up to 19,000. And if you have an AA for the following semester of April, we also offer 50% off scholarship for all of our students that graduate with an associate's degree. So that's really good as well. Now, the good thing about Leo is that we have our student success coaches, which basically help you pick out the classes that you want to take for your degree. We'll have a variety of different classes for the programs that you want to pursue, and they'll help you pick out stuff that you like. Also with St. Leo, the good thing is that you can go as undecided or business undecided. So if you don't know the degree you want to pursue, you can apply as that and explore your options within your first 2 years. We also have Handshake, which is like LinkedIn. We can find jobs, internships, and different opportunities for you to grow as professionals. So it's fairly easy to apply to St. Leo. For first time in college, you just need an official high school transcript, a letter of recommendation, and SAT, ACT scores are optional. You can do it by stleo.edu or through the Common App. And those are QR codes, so you can see more information about St. Leo and our social medias as well. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm going to turn it over to Rollins College.
Thank you so much. Can I just get a thumbs up from our panelists that you can hear me? Okay.
I can hear and see you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Happy holidays, everyone. If you observe, let me share my screen. My name is Marissa. I am with Rollins College. You may have heard about us. We are located in the Winter Park area. So we are just at the edge of the Virginia Lake behind us, which makes for a beautiful view. The Winter Park area is very beautiful as well. Park Avenue is just wonderful for when family visits, etc. We're just a few minutes drive from the touristy area of Orlando, including Disney and the Universal Parks, etc. etc. So usually some of our out-of-state students are attracted to that, as well as our very beautiful tropical weather we have in Florida. Let's see, Rollins College. I was actually a student at Rollins. I am an associate director with financial aid there now. Which speaks a lot about the focus that we give our students. We provide work-study opportunities to grow the careers of our students while they are working in their degree. We are an institution that focuses on service excellence, community service, global citizenship, and academic rigor. And we provide a lot of opportunities for students to explore their passion, such as studying abroad programs, campus involvement. Music program is a big highlight, I will say, if we have students in the house tonight who are interested in that. In terms of application, our first year admission profile looks somewhat like this. The average score on weighted GPA for our admits is 3.5. And you can see there are the standardized test scores that make up the average admit at our school. We are an institution that does accept test score waived applicants as well for some of our students who'd rather apply without test scores. We accept the Common App as well as our own application. And I will say, and I will highlight for those of you who are interested in Rollins, that the essay portion of the application is huge to us, because that is the opportunity that the applicant has to tell us about themselves. We have had admission counselors read all kinds of essays. We had, one of my favorites was a student who her essay was about her red hair because she was so proud about it. And we thought that was neat because that gives us the opportunity to get to know our student. We really want to build a great community. So we're not looking at our students just in terms of their academic profile, but who we're bringing on campus to create that sense of community within the walls of our school. Automatically with the admission application, we don't require a separate application. We provide academic scholarships that range from $15,000 a year to $32,000 a year. We also provide some full rides that cover tuition, a double room and meal plan per semester for a select group of students who have to go through an interview and be reviewed academically. But we try to be very generous with our scholarships and to support our students. I know that for all of us panelists here tonight, we are private schools, so sometimes that intimidates our students in Florida to apply to come to some of us. And I'll say that sometimes the price tag looks intimidating, but many of our colleagues here tonight have expressed how their schools are generous with their scholarships. Rollins is no exception. You can see on the screen, 93% of our students receive some type of gift aid, whether it's a scholarship or a grant. This year we awarded $44 million in our own scholarships and nearly $70 million awarded in terms of Rollins financial aid, whether that is an academic scholarship or a need-based grant. So we really try to put our best foot forward for your student to come to us. Like some of our colleagues have mentioned, I'm just touching on some of the forms of assistance that we do accept at Rollins. If we have families with Florida prepaid, students pursuing Florida Bright Futures, we do accept all of those and any aid that comes from the federal government as well. And as I mentioned before, we also provide our own means of assistance through our own funding. The only thing that we will need if you're interested in coming to us is your admission application, through which we will assess your profile for a potential academic scholarship right away. And of course, the FAFSA if you're a domestic student. If you're an international student applying, through your admissions process, we can make a financial aid application available to you that is for international students specifically. So very happy to be with you tonight. That was very brief, but I hope that gave you a little bit of a sense of Rollins. I'm gonna try to unshare my screen and pass it on to the next person. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much. We went from our hometown college to my original hometown college with Lynn University in Boca Raton.
Awesome. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ryan Koss. I am the Senior Associate Director of Admission with Lynn University. We are located in Boca Raton, Florida, which is Palm Beach County. I work with all of our students from Central Florida down to campus in Palm Beach County. So I very frequently use the Bright Line to go back and forth, which is a great opportunity for our Central Florida students coming down to South Florida. So for those of you who have been on our campus or maybe not been on our campus, if you're familiar with Boca at all, our neighbor to our east is Florida Atlantic University. So we have both the public and the private school right here off of Glades between I-95. As far as our program, so Lynn is a small private institution. We have about 3,500 undergraduate students. We enroll close to about 850 incoming students each year. And when it comes to the programs, you can focus in a variety of areas. We have our own College of Aeronautics. We fly right off of our Boca Private Airport, about an hour away, a mile away from our campus. We have our College of Art and Science for any of our pre-med, pre-law, forensics, musical theater, criminal justice students. We have our College of Business, anything under the umbrella of business, entrepreneurship, business management, sports management, hospitality management, social entrepreneurship, fashion and retail. We also have our College of Communication Design. So for any of our graphic art and design students, visual art and design, film, television production, multimedia journalism students, that may be a very good fit for you. We also have our College of Education, and then we have our Conservatory of Music. So those are the colleges that house all of our academic programs. When it comes to the things that we do differently, so you if you're looking at any of our programs that are not considered a BFA program, you can actually choose to apply and complete your degree in 3 years. That is our three-year accelerated degree program. At the end of your at the end of your first year, as long as you have a 3.0 GPA, we will invite you to graduate early, effectively allowing you to finish with your bachelor's degree in 3 years. Then continue on to your master's program, graduate work, or you can attend any other university for your graduate work. When it comes to how we do our scheduling, we have our block scheduling. So essentially, instead of taking 5 classes all at once in the middle of a semester, we separate it to 4 blocks, A, B, C, and D, where you would take, let's say, 1 class for 4 weeks, Monday through Thursday, because we do not hold classes on Fridays. And at the end of the 4 weeks, you would finish that class, get your grade, and move on to the next block. You can take 1 class block A, 2 block B, 1 block C, 1 block D. At the end of the semester, same number of credits, same overall information that you're getting, just organized a little differently. We are on the Common Application. It is free to apply. We are a test optional institution. If you're looking for us, you can find us on there. All we need is your high school transcript, background information, letter recommendation. And if you are going to be making a trip to campus at all, we have an open house coming up on the 9th, which is this Saturday, and we will have several other events throughout the spring. Feel free to go to lynn.edu/visit or find me at rcoss@lynn.edu, and I am happy to speak with you. Have a great night and look forward to your questions during the panel.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Now we're turning it over to Advent Health University. You should now be a presenter and you can share your screen. Awesome. We see your screen. Let's just make sure we can hear your voice. You may still be muted. Okay, I've unmuted.
Yeah, I was trying to click around there. So thank you. My name is Eric Caliente. I am the Director of Marketing for AHU. And I'm not the normal person that speaks here. So when you get to the end of this slideshow and you see somebody else's name there, hopefully I've done her justice today here. So you're probably wondering, you're in Orange County here, I believe. So you guys all probably have heard of Advent Health and didn't know, what's a hospital doing here talking about us, but we've actually had a university here at, in Orlando there. So Advent Health started in 1908. We founded the college in 1992, and they changed their name we changed our name to Advent Health in 2018. We have 50 different hospitals in 9 states with 91,000 employees. And we have probably over 25 hospitals here in the state. And the reason that's important will be when we start talking about our clinical programs. This is kind of AHU at a glance. We're very small. All we do is healthcare. We have a few business healthcare related degrees, but everything revolves around healthcare and patient care, or undergraduate programs that will feed into graduate degree programs. Well, we have 16 campus degrees. We have 9 online. We have some certificates. Our student to faculty ratio is very low. Some of that is due to the accreditation factors that we have to take into account. They dictate what kind of student to faculty ratios we have. Our class sizes are small. You can see, just like in healthcare, if you go into a hospital, 80% of the workforce is female, and that's reflected in our student makeup. And we are a Hispanic serving institution, and you can see the breakdown in diversity there along the bottom line. A couple more slides here. You got to see we have 20% enrollment is online. We have a small campus in Denver. We have quite a few of our, about 25% of our students in our graduate programs. And this says 80% of our students go to Advent Health. That's taking into account some that go into our graduate programs or move back to where they came from. But in reality, almost all of them are hired by Advent Health if they want to be. Now, you see the 63% that receive financial aid. That is predominantly undergraduate, but these 424 you see in grad programs or the online, a lot of that is actually getting, well, the online programs in particular are getting tuition assistance from Advent Health if they're, or their employers. And you can see what the average, since we do healthcare, we do, you know, these lead directly into jobs that are well paying and have good, you know, employment for, you know, right out of school. And you can see this is kind of an eye chart. I apologize about that, but you can see this is a list of all the different programs that we offer. I think one of the big things we're doing, we're quadrupling our nursing program from 150 students to graduating over 400 each year. So by 2030 is the goal. So we're bringing back our AS nursing. We have a BS nursing. And we have a number of other nursing career ladders if you wanted to go into nursing. I think some of the other exciting degrees are like our imaging degrees, and they're associate degrees in 2 year. Your student could get out and be done in 2 years and making quite a nice living doing, you know, X-ray or ultrasound or occupational therapy assistant. This is just showing you the breakdown of where our students are located and the different campuses they're in. You can see we're going to be moving to Tampa, opening up a small nursing program there in 2025. And I want to make a plug for your students or you, or if you're the student, volunteering at Advent Health. It's, you know, great, looks great, helps with scholarships and experience, and gets you to understand the intricacies of working in a hospital without being it your first time, you know, when you're in a program and you come in there. So these are some numbers if you want to call or grab that, take a screenshot of that to call about volunteering at Advent Health. And then last is, this is the person who's supposed to be providing the talk, but she couldn't make it today, so I had to step in at the last minute. But you can talk to Maggie Kelly. She is Maria Kelly, but she goes by Maggie, and she can answer all the questions you have. Email her directly about upcoming open houses and things like that.
Awesome. Thank you so much. One of my very first volunteer jobs was at a hospital. It's very cool.
Okay.
We'll definitely pass that along to our families and our students. I want to turn it over now to Flagler College with Ms. DeFalco. So I'm going to go ahead and make you a presenter, and you should be able to share your screen. And I will go ahead and unmute you as well, just to make it a little easier.
Thank you. Okay, so hello everyone and welcome. My name is Lauren DeFalco and I am going to speak to you today about the admissions process at Flagler College and some information about our campus life as well. So I actually graduated from Flagler College myself in 2015. I was an English major and a sociology minor. And Flagler College is a private four-year institution and we have around 2,500 students total. I always say we have the best of both worlds because we have exciting majors and a lot to be involved in. Then you also have those small numbers in the classroom on the education side. So when you're out walking on campus, you're often going to see familiar faces and your professors will likely know you by name, which is very unique at this level, I would say. Next, we'll talk about the areas where our students are mostly coming from. So we have a lot of students that come from Florida, of course, and in addition to that, Georgia and South Carolina, Virginia and Maryland, and New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. We also have a small percentage of our population, around 5%, coming from international destinations, mostly Western Europe and the Caribbean. Around 52% of our first-year students are from outside of Florida. This is certainly a positive because we don't consider ourselves what's called a suitcase college, meaning on the weekends, campus life is vibrant. The students aren't always rushing to go home to visit family. So there's a lot to do on the weekends, which is great. I'll also point out that we are located in St. Augustine, Florida. So we are around 45 minutes south of Jacksonville and around 100 miles from Orlando. So we are considered North Florida. And now we'll talk about St. Augustine as a city. So we are the oldest city in the nation, so a lot of history in our city, and our campus is just minutes from the downtown area. We are also around 10 minutes away from the beach. You know, the choice of either Bolano Beach or St. Augustine Beach. And I'd say my favorite time of year in St. Augustine would be the Night of Lights. That goes from the end of November to the end of January, where all of the buildings and trees are covered in white Christmas lights. Truly spectacular to see. And we also have an amphitheater called the St. Augustine Amphitheater, and we get some pretty big name artists that come to perform there. So our students love engaging in those activities in our downtown area. Next, we'll talk about our campus life. We have over 60 clubs and organizations, 11 honor societies, and 3 Greek life organizations. One of them being Phi Alpha Omega, which is a women's community service organization. And they plan different events throughout the semesters, and all the proceeds go to various charities in our area. I see a lot of our student organizations center on giving back to the local community, which is really great. We also have intramural sports, and we have 15 men's and women's sports teams. We are Division II and part of the Peach Belt Conference. And we have pretty much everything except swimming and football. We most recently added a lacrosse program, which was largely influenced by our student body. They voiced that they would love to see that sport added, and we made it happen. We also have a student government association that plans different events for our students on campus, such as our Harry Potter week. We have a movie by the pool and de-stress day, just to name a few. So definitely a lot going on, whether it's during the week or on the weekends. I'll also talk about our majors. We have over 40 majors and 47 minors. They span across all different subject areas. Some of the more popular programs, I would say, are communication, education, and business administration, just to name a few. There is no limit to the amount of majors and minors that you can have. So a lot of our students are either double majoring or have multiple minors as well. Next, I'll talk about our academic profile. We have our average GPA around a 3.63, our average SAT at an 1156, and our average ACT at a 27. But we're not just looking at your GPA and test scores. We do use a holistic approach in our application process. So we do want to see what you have focused on outside of the classroom as well. And now I'll talk about the steps in applying. So first, you're going to submit your application and fee, which is $50. And we do accept both the common application and the Make History application, which is specific to our school. Then you're going to request your official high school transcript. So we will be looking at your grades from your 9th through 12th grade years. Then you're going to provide an academic letter of recommendation. We ask that this is from someone that knows you in an academic setting. So it could be a teacher or counselor, for example. We always suggest that you choose someone that can speak on your academic strengths. And then lastly, you're going to complete your essay. That's always my favorite part of reviewing the applications because it does give me that window into that student's life outside of their grades and test scores. And we are test optional, which means you can choose to apply without sending us your scores. So that concludes the information that I have for you here today on Flagler College, and I look forward to any questions that you might have for me as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lauren. I'm going to turn it over last, but certainly not least, to Nova Southeastern University. And you should have presenter rights now.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. So my name is Maureen Young. I am one of the assistant directors here at NSU. So tonight I will be sharing a little bit about NSU. We'll get right into it. NSU is a mid-sized institution with about 6,900 undergraduate students, which makes for that nice average class size of 17. We're also a research-heavy school with over 150 research projects going on currently on campus, and proud to be one of 59 universities with the Carnegie Foundation classification for high research activity and community engagement. The community engagement piece comes from our affordable health clinic that bleeds into our local communities, as well as partnering with the state and the coast for the coral reef restoration projects or the sea turtle project as well. Here at NSU, your academic advisor also serves as a career coach. We understand that many job opportunities and grad school opportunities require a bachelor's degree, but more importantly, they also require a resume and those cover letters and interview skills to get those opportunities. We're also an NCAA Division II school with 19 teams across our men's and women's sport. We are the NCAA Division II National Championship for the 23-year for men's basketball, as well as women's swimming and men's golf as well. And we have alums from all 50 states, so yes, even Hawaii and Alaska, and over 115 different countries. So even though we are a mid-sized school, we do have a very extremely diverse campus. So we'll go right into it. Every admitted student here at NSU is offered a Dean Scholarship that ranges $11,000 to $21,000. There are other scholarship opportunities as well, including a full tuition scholarship for presidential scholars, and that is by invitation only. I also wanted to note that for Florida residents, there are additional aid available based on your FAFSA and other things. So take a look at that. Here is the freshman class profile for the 2023 school year. The students who are currently taking their finals, their first semester in college. We had an incoming class of just over 2,000. We are test optional, but for the students who did opt to submit their test score, the mid-range was a 1090 to a 1330, as you can see, or an ACT super score of a 24 to 31. Our student population does come from a variety of places. 52% of our students are from the state of Florida, 38% are from out of state, and 10% are true international students here on F1 visas. Our early decision deadline and early action deadline is November 1. So, but our regular decision deadline, as well as for our premier programs, so those scholarship opportunities that I just mentioned earlier, is February 1. So if I do have any seniors in the room, it's not too late to apply. And you can see once we get your Common App or Sure Select app, we will need that high school transcript. Again, test optional for this current school application cycle. We recommend having at least one letter of recommendation, and that letter of recommendation can be applied to your premier program, so you don't need to submit two separate letters of recommendation. There is an optional essay on the application as well. And then, of course, we do recommend students submitting the FAFSA as early as possible. So if I have any seniors in the room, that FAFSA will become available, I believe, December 31st this year. And then, of course, after you do all that, definitely apply for premier programs and come and join us for Shark Preview Weekend, which is our 2.5-day program where students not only interview for scholarship opportunities or dual admission opportunities where they can reserve a seat in the osteopathic medicine school or the law school or our other graduate programs, but they also get to meet other students who are like themselves who are looking at NSU or potentially coming to NSU. And that is my talk about NSU. I am the admissions counselor for Orange County, and I have my contact right there. So definitely reach out if you have any specific questions.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I want to, first of all, thank all of you for sharing. I have a senior myself this year, so hosting these has taken on a whole new flavor. Normally, I'm just listening. Now I'm listening with more attentiveness. And I have 4 daughters, actually, so I know, pray for me. 2 of them are in high school. One of them is in college already. And I have a senior, as I've mentioned, and then I also have a daughter who's moving into her junior year of college. And I listened to them have this like fascinating debate the other night about why private. And I guess I'm curious if one of you guys would like to share why you think every student should include at least one private university in their college application list.
I will say that I think one of the positives of attending a private college is the one-on-one, attention that you do receive in the classroom. The small class sizes, I think, are a value if that's the type of education that you're looking for. And then I think on the social side of things, it's also easier, sometimes to make connections with a smaller student body.
I'll echo a little bit of that. And I had a fascinating conversation with a faculty member in our computer science department. And there's computer science departments in many of the majors you're going to find at many of our schools in different locations. And that faculty member has worked for large public universities here in state and private institutions in state. And one of the things he shared is at a private school, you're going to have so many opportunities not only inside the classroom, but outside the classroom based on the connections in the network that they have built that's there as a resource that they want to provide to the students. They describe being in a larger university as kind of a cog in a wheel that's there if you're one of many and you're one of few at a private institution. So the value that's provided for that is they are ultimately your resource as opposed to being taught potentially by a graduate assistant or a teaching assistant at a larger school. At a private institution, you have that faculty member in front of you who cares, wants to be there, wants to support you, and is dedicated to that and building that relationship with you.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. And just to kind of like piggyback off that, like my personal experience, I had originally undergrad, attended a much larger university, about like 50,000 students. And so, it wasn't for me personally, and, it always depends on the student, but it was, 400 person lecture halls and just kind of dealing with that and the professor not knowing who you are. So I think like, at a small private university, like at least our average is about 25 students per classroom. Like you really get to know the professor. It's much easier to get involved in research opportunities as well. And just like, having that connection for internships, jobs after graduation, career management, service help, having that one-on-one for like resume building, mock interviews, all of that too, is a huge plus as well. And so, yeah, my personal recommendation, I think it's a much more individual kind of educational experience and more personal as well. So I always encourage, as Joe mentioned earlier, just like making sure you visit the, college and, you like the atmosphere and all that too, because I think that's important as well.
I also echo the idea of visiting colleges. We have gone to probably more open houses than I ever hope to go to again in my life. But I do think it's so different in person than it is on the website. And I totally echo that. Understanding the community, the atmosphere of the town, the people, all of that goes into an important college decision. So the last open house I went on with my daughter, we went as a group and brought some friends with her. And I overheard her having a conversation with one of her friends about how she couldn't apply to a private school because she felt like public was the only option for them financially. And one of the things I think I heard kind of universally tonight was that that's not really the mindset that kids should have. So, if you had to, give an elevator speech to a parent or a student who just feels like they don't have the funds to go private, what would you say?
If I may start, because I'm actually in the financial aid department as opposed to admissions, like a few of our panelists here tonight. I would say I would kind of reiterate what I mentioned during my presentation. The price tag can seem intimidating when you're looking at a school. But the fact that we're private also means that we try to be very generous with the funding that we have to attract the right students to our community. We all, I'm sure, put our best foot forward when preparing our financial aid offers because we want your student to be here. A lot of our colleges also accept state programs like my colleagues have mentioned, and we can stack all of those resources. Typically, the mindset is state college because I'm going to get in-state tuition and that's it. But a combination of resources is what gets students to come to our schools. A combination of scholarship funding from our institutions in recognition of their academic achievement in high school, a combination of the benefits of being Florida resident and the opportunities that the state provides, and of course the filing of the FAFSA. All of these resources we put together and we prepare an offer so that our students can come to us. So even though the price tag may seem intimidating, it can actually come down to be something that is affordable for most families.
Thank you. Another piece that I think we talk a lot with our students about, because we do these panels every month, and tonight is no different. We're receiving messages from parents, and the primary question we typically get is, should I encourage my child to apply if they don't meet the student profile that's listed on the screen? Maybe they don't have the right test score, or maybe they have amazing test scores, but their GPA misses it by 0.1% or whatever. Do I need to hit all of the marks, or should I still encourage my student to try? What are your perspectives?
I love that question. Can everybody hear me? Okay, cool. So I think that it's all within context. You'll probably hear this word a lot. If your list, which I know you have some amazing counselors, amazing team that assists with this. If your list is balanced, it's okay to have a couple of those schools, right? What we would call reach schools. The challenge comes in usually when you're filled your entire list with those type of schools, right? And so just as I would if I was applying for a job or if I was pursuing a car, whatever it may be, there should be a balance between the types of opportunities that I'm trying to attain, right? And so I think you have your safety schools right in the middle where you seem to match everything and might even be lucky to have you, right? We can call those schools. And then you have your schools, which are sort of your match schools, which maybe there's a couple of pieces that are different. Maybe it's slightly a reach in one area. And then you have your reach schools, right? Where this is your dream school. I know for me, when I was coming up, I wanted to go to Northwestern. That was my dream private institution. I wasn't going to Northwestern. I didn't have the grades, but I applied to Northwestern. If I applied to all Northwestern, that would have been the challenge, right? But I made sure that I had a balanced sort of application tree. And so that's what I would encourage students and parents alike as you're going through that process. Just look for the balance for that list.
I can echo that sentiment. I remember that my reach school when I was in high school was the Sorbonne because I had gone to Paris, and my parents very lovingly had to tell me they weren't paying international tuition. So I understand those feelings. Okay, and so the next question I think that's come up in the chat, and also one that quite frankly I hear my daughter and her friends debate every day, is we know that GPA is ultimately the thing that kind of gets you in the door. There is some sort of minimum qualification somewhere. And then some schools use tests and some schools don't. But beyond the academic portion, for you at your institution, what is the second most important factor that you look at? Because I think we spend so much time talking about the first important factor, and then we talk about the well-rounded application, but a lot of kids and parents don't really know what that means. So for you, from your lens, what is the second most important factor to you?
I can speak to that, at least from Advent Health University. What we look for is a mission fit. So we have people that are really going into healthcare, and Advent Health has the philosophy of whole person care and treating the whole person. And that's how we want to be able to treat our students, because we think whole person care starts in the classroom, not necessarily on your first day of orientation on the job. So when you're in clinical or you're in your classroom, we're looking for students that understand and want to be that healthcare provider that knows, you know, a patient is more than just a chart or a room number, that they are someone who is a constellation of family, medical history, their own personal history, and that they would be treated with worth and value that way. So we're looking for students like that. So mission fit is a big one for us.
I appreciate that response. I had all 4 of my daughters at Advent Health. So what else, guys? Anything else from other institutions that would be beside mission?
I can jump in because I think you can see that a lot of PCUF schools have specific admissions counselors for specific regions, and I can share that usually students who respond to my text and emails that demonstrated interest and that they are reading their if I'm like, hey, if those missing documents emails or any emails that goes out that they have questions about, or just even sometimes a simple thank you, demonstrates a level of maturity that may be missing from their peers. That if I see them, they might be, on a borderline of admission, but they routinely can, respond to emails or at least say thank you or anything like that, or can leave a proper voicemail even, then, it really speaks to me as far as their readiness for college and take on that journey of being on their own and being independent and taking ownership of their academic journey.
That's a great one, and one that I think a lot of high school students need to hear. It is very important that they are professional through the process, and we do our very best to prime the pump, so to speak, but there is a lot that they have to do on their own. Okay, let's see. The last question that I see that's kind of popping up over and over again is there's been a new test that has come out, at least recently for us, and a lot of our students are debating whether or not they should go back and take the CLT. Is that something that's important to your universities? Why or why not?
I'll jump in. CLT exam is obviously very new. Public schools are going to be using it. Many of us are test optional schools. Lynn is a test optional school, so it doesn't necessarily make a difference. But where it may make a difference for a lot of our students or Florida students is the benefits of the Florida Bright Futures. So if that exam does prove to do what they say it is, which is be a little bit easier, students will maybe represent themselves a little bit better, score higher, could potentially help hit the bump for those who are maybe just under the cusp of the Florida Bright Futures Awards. So we're looking forward to seeing if it's a benefit. Lynn, individually, we do not have a specific CLT score requirement, but the CLT does provide equivalencies for the SAT and the ACT. So we will look at that if you want us to consider test scores during your review. But as you mentioned, definitely, I think as Eric mentioned, more than a patient on a chart, more than a number on an exam. We're happy to learn more about you through the application process. So don't feel like the exam is going to be your find all be all.
Great. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining tonight. This has been a panel that is absolutely phenomenal, and I know most of these schools personally from my own experiences in South and Central Florida growing up, and my friends and my colleagues. So any of these schools would be an amazing choice for our students. Families, you're going to receive a recording of this session tonight, as well as a link to all of the PowerPoints that have been shared, so you can re-review this information. And then we also know that there will have been families that desperately wanted to be here, but because of the rigor of the holiday season, weren't able to be. So this will be posted on our OCPS Families YouTube channel and then texted to all of our OCPS juniors and seniors so that they are able to review this information at home with their families after today. So again, I want to extend a huge thank you. Our next virtual mini academy that is coming up is going to actually be about the new FAFSA, so stay tuned for that, and also the financial aid information you need to make a great college decision, and that'll be presented by a panel of financial aid specialists from around the state. You can check out all of that information and more at parentacademy.ocps.net. Thank you again, everybody, for being here, and I hope you have an amazing evening. Bye.